Welcome back, everyone, to the GOATcast podcast. Today, of course, I'm your host, Big Nige, and we're joined by someone who's trying to enter the GOAT tier for being the most bald person in the world, CW. How you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. It's cold outside, but I'm in here warm. What's going on?
I know work has been pretty crazy this week, but I got next week off, so.
I mean, it's the holidays. You winding down.
Yeah, we ramping up over where I'm at. But getting into today's video, we're going to continue with our tier list for the current NBA players and keep y'all surprised in how the rest of the episode follows. But I'll let you start with Jimmy Butler first.
All right, yeah. I'll read you guys the stats so we can kind of give you some perspective of who should be where. Jimmy Butler right now averaging 21.9 points, 5.1 rebounds, 4.3 assists, but he's barely playing. Where does he rank? Is he GOAT, all-star, starter, role player, G League?
I think he's starter. I don't think he's played all-star level basketball this season, but he obviously is an all-star and can get on that GOAT tier in the playoffs. But for the regular season, he's usually in the middle of all-star and starter. So I put him at starter for now.
Yeah, he's who he is right now. He saves his energy till playoff time. Moving right along with Jaren Jackson Jr., who is the former Defensive Player of the Year. 20.8 points per game, 5.8 rebounds, 1.8 assists, but he leads them with 1.8 blocks. Where should Jaren Jackson Jr. go?
I mean, he's technically an all-star for that team. I wouldn't really put him on that all-star level. Personally speaking, I think he's right up there. Like, if we have Desmond Bane as a starter, I think he's right there with him. I don't think he's better than Desmond Bane.
No, we can't put him above. I mean, Desmond Bane is all they have.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I'm going to put him, we'll put him middle of the pack, starter. Now, this one's easy.
Easy.
There's no question. Big Yoke, 28.2 points per game, 12.8 rebounds, 9.6 assists. He leads his team in every one of them. He's GOAT. He's right there. But we'll revisit those and we'll see where everybody ranks over there. But Drew Holiday, who was traded to the Boston Celtics, they're doing pretty good, averaging 12.4 points per game, 7.1 rebounds, and 5.1 assists. Definition of a starter.
Yeah, I would put him at starter. He kind of flirts between starter and role player, to be honest, because he's stupid and consistent. His defense is what keeps him up there, but like his offensive numbers, they get pretty nasty in some critical games. But I give him the nod as a starter for sure.
Okay, I agree. Now your favorite guy right here. The man, the myth, the legend, Julius Randle, averaging 22 points per game, 9.6 rebounds, 5.4 assists. He's got to be an all-star. Come on now. Don't do it to him.
Listen, man, he's definitely been playing good. I'm not just going to sit on my opinion. He's playing like an all-star right now. I'm not going to disrespect him.
Yeah, if we're going to put Bam, we got to put, because Randle is producing for his team and they're winning, so we're going to put him up in all-star. Up next, Karl Anthony Towns with the number one Minnesota Timberwolves, averaging 21.6 points per game, 9.1 rebounds, 3 assists. Big Cat, what we thinking? Starter?
I'm gonna give him the all-star nod. He's on the best team in the Western Conference.
Those numbers, though.
All-star nod.
Those numbers.
The numbers aren't speaking too highly of him, but I truthfully think he is an all-star. Not a high-level all-star, but an all-star.
Oh, man.
I think his stats only are reflective of how he's utilized in that offense. but I think
they're winning. So I prefer winning. That's what puts people higher for me. So
if Draymond's an all-star on the Warriors back in those years, averaging like 10 points a game, he's right there. He's got 21. He's good.
Well, yeah, I guess so. Kawhi Leonard, 23 points per game, 5.9 rebounds, 3.6 assists, 1.6 steals. For the Los Angeles Clippers, once thought of maybe the best player in the NBA, has falling off a cliff, but I would give him a starter role. If we're giving Karl Anthony Towns, I'm giving Kawhi a starter role.
Wow, man, that's.
I mean, not a starter. My bad.
I was about to say that's even.
No. Wait a minute. I had it back. All star. But he's on the lower end, I think.
I give you that.
But still ahead of Bam, in my opinion.
I won't fight you right here, right now.
This, I believe, is another easy one. Kevin Durant averaging 31 points per game, leading the Phoenix Suns, 6.5 rebounds, 5.7 assists, which also leads the Phoenix Suns. Do we have any doubts where he goes?
That's GOAT, man. That's respect to the Slim Reaper. That's GOAT.
He's getting it done. Now, from the Slim Reaper to whatever you want to call him, Chris Middleton, he's averaging 12.4 points per game, 4.8 rebounds, 4.2 assists. I mean, there's no other place for him.
Yeah, he's looked pretty pitiful. I know he's coming off of that injury. I think it was his knee or something, but he looks like he needs to come off the bench, like, truthfully.
I agree. He is, I don't know what's going on with him, but he's not even starter level right now. Now to Kyle Kuzma. We go to the Washington Wizards. So they actually have a player on this list. But leading the Wizards with 22.8 points per game, 5.9 rebounds, and 4.5 assists. We got to give him a starter.
I give him a starter.
Yeah, he's
more shockingly, I would like to see him on the Bucks instead of Chris Middleton. That's just me personally.
I would give a pretty good pickup. If they can figure out a way to flip that would be a big upgrade from what they have right now. Now another horrible team, but LaMelo Ball currently on the injured list, but he's averaging 24.7 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, 8.2 assists, leading the Hornets in both points and assists, which isn't very hard.
I got him at All-Star.
What?
Dude, before he got injured, he was putting up some crazy. I'm talking about like, it was like, I think 5 straight games was like 30 plus points. He was cooking. Like, he is all that team has. I know that rookie Brandon Miller he's cool.
He's coming on.
But LaMelo is everything for that team. Like, he is definitely an all-star.
Oh man. I mean, he did cook Boston Celtics. I watched the game. Yeah, he did. Okay. I'm gonna put him right around here. We're going bad teams all down the row. Lloyd Marketing for the Utah Jazz, averaging 23.7 points per game, 8.7 rebounds, 1.1 assists. He leads the team in both points and rebounds, which isn't very hard for that team either.
I mean, I think if they win more games, he could maybe get in the All-Star conversation, but since they're kind of struggling, I put him at starter.
Yeah, he's somewhere down in here. I agree. Another easy one. Your man Luka Doncic, 32 points per game, 8.3 rebounds, 8.5 assists, leads the Dallas Mavericks in every one of those categories.
Go.
We gotta put him up here. Mikal Bridges, he's playing pretty good for the Brooklyn Nets right now, averaging 23.1 points per game, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, leading them in points. But where should he be is the question. Are we going to go up here? Are we going to stay here?
I think he's comfortable in that starting position. I don't know if I'd put him all-star yet. I have to go and really look at all the guards in the East before I give him that nod. But he's definitely in the conversation. So I put him at starter.
Fair enough. I think he's probably a starter. I think if I was a betting man, I would say Brooklyn would probably start selling near the trade deadline, and he might be one to go. OG Anunoby for the Toronto Raptors. Don't know how he made this list, but 15.6 points per game, 4.3 rebounds, and 2.4 assists.
I think he could be a great role player on a contender or a solid starter as well.
I think we're going to put him in this role player here. No. I'm not bumping him up. I'm not. And we have. I'm not bumping him up.
Man, the disrespect to OG.
Oh, man. And the Raptors are losing. Paulo, where you got him? 20.7 points per game, 6.8 rebounds, 4.5 assists. Orlando's doing very, very good this season. He's leading them in all, important stats. So, what did I do there? So we were at Paulo when my fingers went crazy. So where should we put Paulo? Should he be? I think he's got to be a starter, but can he rise above?
I think if they stay in the position that they're in right now in the East, I think you could definitely have that starter. I mean, the All-Star nod. But I think since we're only 20-something games in, let's see how the next 20 or so games go before we give him the All-Star nod.
That's fair enough. Pascal Siakam, how we got multiple Toronto Raptors on here, I don't know, but he's averaging 20.7 points per game, 6.8 rebounds, and 4.9 assists. He leads that Raptors team in scoring. So
I give him starter.
Yeah, he's a solid starter.
I don't think they've won enough games for me to give him the All-Star nod. So.
Nah, he's not playing like that. So he's gonna stay in that starting position. Moving back to the Clippers, Paul George averaging 23.2 points per game, 5.9 rebounds, 4.2 assists, 1.7 steals, which he leads the team in, and he leads the team in points. Him and Kawhi's stats are almost identical, so we got to put them together. He's an all-star.
Yeah, I mean, whether he makes the all-star team or not is still to be decided, but he's definitely playing like
I think he's playing like he should be on the all-star team. Your favorite guy, Rudy Gobert, favorite team, the Minnesota Timberwolves. He is averaging 13.3 points per game, 12.2 rebounds, leading the team there, 2.5 blocks. We don't care about his assists, so he's playing well. He's been
a starter. He's definitely a good starter. He's definitely not no all-star, but he is a good starter.
I mean, he's playing good on defense. He's definitely
he's defensively, but you can't. I don't know no all-star unless you're Draymond Green that's averaging less than like 15 and making nah. He's a great starter, but all-star no.
Okay, well, back out to Sacramento, Domantas Sabonis. He's averaging 18.6 points per game, 12.3 rebounds, 7.1 assists. He's leading both in rebounds and assists, which I'm kind of surprised about, but those are pretty decent numbers for a team that's winning.
I think he has all-star ceiling. I
think if we put Bam, we got to put. I mean, even though he doesn't play defense, nowhere near close to Bam.
I'll give him the nod just because they're winning. They're not like top 5, but they're winning more than a lot of these guys on this list. So. I'll be nice to him for that.
All right. So Scotty Barnes, another Raptor on this list. He's averaging 19.8 points per game, 9.0 rebounds, 5.6 assists.
Starter,
yeah. Good player though. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, averaging 30.4 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, 6.2 assists, leading the team in both points and assists.
He's GOAT.
You got to put him up here. Yo, I was about to say if you say starter, I would. Even though we gonna revisit him. Jason Tatum for a winning Boston Celtics team. He's averaging 27.5 points per game, 8.7 rebounds, leaders in both, and 4.2 assists. Because they're winning, you got to put them up here.
Yeah, I put him a step above Jaylen Brown. Although they are close, but I got one step above Jaylen Brown.
Absolutely. So Atlanta Hawks, Trae Young, 26.8 points, 2.7 rebounds, 10.5 assists, which was shocking to me. He's playing good. They're not winning, but
because he's so good, I put him at All-Star, but he's not going to probably make it because of how
low All-Star.
Yeah, I mean he's got the numbers that say he's a high All-Star, but they're just not really winning. But he gets his respect.
Okay, and my MVP of the first in-season tournament, Tyrese Halliburton, averaging 26.3 points per game, 4.2 rebounds, 12.3 assists. He's got to be up here. You got to be a high All-Star.
For sure.
All right, and moving back to Philly, Tyrese Maxey. We just want to earn him some big money. 27 points per game, 4.1 rebounds, 6.7 assists for that Philadelphia 76er team.
All-Star.
He's got an All-Star. Yeah. Easy, yeah. Zach LaVine out hurt. Chicago Bulls no good right now. 21 points per game, 4.9 rebounds, 3.4 assists.
Starter.
Okay, I'm about to say, I didn't know if you're going to go role player.
Starter, but stinky.
Okay, yeah. Zion, who my hot take is steaming back up because even though he had a great game last night, that in-season bracket play, yeah, the Pelicans aren't too high on him right now. They're saying he's not taking his conditioning serious. So
they're saying he's big belly Zion. He's still giving people buckets. Leave that man alone. Even though we all wish him to be skinnier, leave him alone. He's giving people 36 on 77% field goal percentage. He's
gonna be wearing a different jersey come February, but he's right now averaging 22.9 points per game, 5.6 rebounds, 4.7 assists. Is that All-Star worthy?
I mean, the stats no, but like his play style, he's still an All-Star. Let's not disrespect him like that. Like he might have a little bit of a belly on him, but he's still an All-Star.
I don't know, but
you think him and Ingram are like neck and neck, or you think he's?
Yeah.
I think he's better than Ingram. I think the team has a higher ceiling with Zion than Ingram.
Depending on who they're matched up against, I think they're 1A and 1B.
I think it's Zion and then Ingram. They're a nice 1-2 punch, but Ingram is 2. Zion is 1.
Okay, I'm gonna give you that. But to the lowly Spurs, who have won a record-breaking or lost a record-breaking 17 games in a row, but they do have a small bright spot in Victor. 18.8 points per game, 10.6 rebounds, 2.6 assists, 1.2 blocks per game. He's leading his team in 3 of those categories. I mean, it's a bad team, but he's still a rookie leading his team. Got to. Come on now.
Yo, wait, whoa. They ain't winning. I don't know about All-Star. That's a little premature.
You got to give him that.
I can't give him All-Star. They stink.
He's an All-Star. He is easily an All-Star.
What? All right. The West is too loaded for him to like just waltz in there. I mean, can they win double-digit games first?
We'll worry about that later on down the line. But
yeah, there ain't no way you're gonna be an All-Star and your team's at the bottom of the conference. I like Wemby, but All-Star, that's
where would you put it?
he's a great starter, and if they used him better and actually ran the offense through him, he would easily be an all-star, and they would win a lot more games.
All right, well, we'll talk about this. And actually, I'm missing one person's stats, so I'm gonna let you do LeBron because I don't have him right here in front of me, but I'm sure you have it right off the top of your head.
Man, I don't need no stats for LeBron.
So, well, before LeBron, before the main event, Jalen Brunson for a pretty decent Knicks team, 24.6 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, 5.6 assists, leading the team in points. I mean, if we're giving him an all-star,
yeah,
we got to give Jalen. Yeah. So
it's solid.
So now we go to
GOAT James. GOAT James. Yeah.
Where should he be? Is the question.
In terms of those players in the GOAT tier?
As far as which tier should he be in?
We all know what tier he should be in. Hello. Duh.
We going low end.
Low end, disrespectful already. That's crazy. That's crazy to me.
But as you can see, this is our, so far, 2023-2024 quarter season tier list for all the, I guess, star players in the NBA so far. But now let's visit some of these tiers and see if the tiers are if we can rank some of these tiers from best to least best. Let's say that. So you want to start up in the GOAT?
Let's say GOAT last. Let's start with the battle of the buns, the role players.
Battle of the buns. I think Brook Lopez should be at the top. You said Van Vliet was over him.
I do. I definitely. It's weird because, again, the Rockets don't utilize him. Like, obviously, he's not as great as he was in Toronto, but that's because he's got, like, the younger generation on his team. He's got ball-dominant guards, whereas in Toronto, he was the ball-dominant guard. So I think he's the best out of this group because I still think he can give more to the game than a lot of these other players can still give currently. Whether it's age or situation, I still think Van Vliet is the best role player out of this crew.
So who would you put? Would you put anybody any higher, or drop anybody any lower? Or is this about right?
I mean, I would honestly put Brook Lopez higher. Like, I would do it just because of the fact that he is the way he's used in Milwaukee's system. I know I just went on a tirade about how Van Vliet's the best role player because I kind of don't feel that Brook Lopez is a role player. Like when we watched that Celtics game and we saw Giannis struggling and Dame struggling, who was the only guy keeping them afloat? It was Brook Lopez.
Yep.
Because Middleton sure the heck didn't do anything. He was getting destroyed out there, looking like a fossil.
So should he be bumped up?
He should be bumped up.
I agree. So we're going to.
To me, can stay. I mean,
everybody
Lakers obviously can make a case too, and so could Clay, but I gotta see more from them. They all stink right now.
I think Clay is about where he's going to be until he shows something else.
Washed.
Starters. I mean, there's a few people I can move around, but I mean,
who would you move up?
Maybe as far as move up to All-Star?
I
already told you, Victor.
Man, they don't.
And Desmond Bane really could.
If I have to pull up their record right now.
I know we're not winning, but
you guys are dead last in the West. 3-19, and he's an all-star? You got to win more than 3 games, Chuck. 3?
I mean, he's playing like an all-star.
He could put up 50. If they only win 3 games, he ain't making no all-star team.
All right. Well, anybody on this, do you feel like this is ranked kind of where they should be? Let me see, who is this? Oh, that's Jeremy Grant.
I mean, yeah, I don't think. I mean, obviously, like you could make an argument for Dame. Like I said, I don't personally think he has the impact
No.
that team needs, and I also think that's also a big part of coaching, not just Dame Lillard, but those two combinations. Milwaukee looks more suspect this year than they have since they formed their like little big three trio with Holiday and Giannis and the crew.
Okay, so
whatever's left of Middleton, I don't want to forget him, but he's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, he's where he needs to be, dead last.
Yeah, he stinks.
So All-Stars.
What's your argument that would make Anthony Edwards bump up the GOAT?
I mean, it's hard looking at that lineup in the GOAT one and say that he's on their level. So I can understand him being all-star, high all-star, but he's not quite. I couldn't see him in that group of guys. AD, I actually could see get bumped up, but I don't think it's time yet. I don't think that monster game in the NBA Cup Finals, yes, but he's had some. I mean, he went missing in that opening night game against Denver in the second half. He did absolutely nothing. He's had a few other games where he just was flat. I don't know if it's because he was hurt or hurting, but he just didn't, he'll give you a little energy and then he'll just, his energy will just die out. Like, I don't know if he's hurt or something's wrong with him, but he doesn't have the engine some of those other guys got, like Giannis, Embiid. Those guys will give you everything they have for a full 48. And Anthony Davis hasn't done that all season. So I can't put him quite at GOAT yet. I would say Halliburton. What about his run? You don't think his run?
Nah, man.
You
gotta give him a little bit more time, man. He's just like, if anything, that Lakers game showed you he's an all-star, but he's not there yet. He's not in that next tier where you can elevate your game to that next level on that kind of stage. Obviously, again, they went as far as he could take them, and I believe if it was probably any other team, they probably could have won. But the Lakers were just poised, disciplined, and of course they got nobody for AD and definitely nobody for LeBron. So you factor those two things in, and they have a great defensive game plan to slow him down. Not much you can do. The ball's in his hands, and he's just double teamed, making it difficult.
But one person, one tier below that I forgot to mention that I feel like could move up. We still don't think Brandon Ingram. We put Zion in All-Star. We can't put Brandon Ingram as a low All-Star.
I think he's a tick below. Like, I still think he's
a tier below,
starter, but I don't think he's All-Star because I don't think he like shows up at that stage, at that big stage yet. I think he can help them in the regular season, and I mean, could he make an All-Star team one day? Maybe, but I just think the West is loaded.
But we got Zion up there. So you're saying you could trust Zion, but you can't trust Brandon Ingram?
Yeah. Zion is a better talent, a better player right now than Brandon Ingram.
Okay, you got a lot more faith in Zion than I do. I mean, yes, when he's 100%, when something happens and he's motivated, yes, but I just don't see it. He just doesn't. No. He had his little stretch, but then he had those two. He had the game against the Kings. He had the game. What was the game before that? No, he had the game against the Kings, and he had the game against the Lakers, where he didn't show up really to either one of them. So, and Ingram did show up for both of them. So,
let me put it to you like this. All right.
Well, tell me something, please.
All right. So, Zion Everybody has been, clowning this man, talk about his conditioning, all this in a bag of chips. And he's still putting in the work, still putting up good numbers. But then you have Ingram, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who is, nobody's talking about the Pelicans without Zion Williamson. There's no buzz around the team. There's no ceiling, no expectation. You bring Zion into that picture, and fat suit and all, whatever you want to call him, he makes this team relevant. Like they're a solid team without him, but with him, they go to the next level because he's that kind of player. See, Ingram, you can plug him in on most teams, and he can give you 20 a game, and it just be cool. But the impact of Zion is just astronomically different, which is why he is a better player because he just, he's unstoppable in the paint. Like they have to put two people on him to have a shot of guarding him, and that's with him out of shape. You get what I'm saying?
Can I ask you this question?
Shoot.
If Brandon Ingram went down for the season, would they be just as good, or would they be a worse team without him out there for them?
I mean, the expectation is still the same with Ingram or without him. Like you have Zion, you have the rest of that team. The expectation is how far can Zion take us, right? But if there's no Zion to rebuttal your argument, and it's just Ingram in that team, we've already seen how far they can go. A tough first round exit. But with Zion, everybody's thinking they can make it out the first round. They could challenge the second round and even a conference finals. But nobody's saying that without Zion.
He can pick up Brandon Ingram's, what he gives you, his production. Zion can pick up that production that they lose without Brandon Ingram. You're saying that?
Just scoring? Because that's mainly the only thing he's giving them.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he...
an offensive punch. Then all you're telling Zion to do is to raise your offensive game, which he's shown in the regular season that he can do. He can go on stretch to where he can give you 40, 35.
Okay, we can agree to disagree on that one. I think he could be bumped up to a all-star, but we'll keep him at starter just because you think Zion is...
He's wrong, man.
This mythical all-star player that we haven't seen. We've seen doses of, but we haven't seen a steady diet of all-star Zion. So in the GOAT tier, do you see anybody that we have any issues?
No.
Should anybody be relegated back down to all-star?
I mean, you can make an argument for Ja because he hasn't played, but I mean, I
So
think when he gets back, he's going to be just as good as any other players on this list, like on this GOAT list.
You think he's better than
how dynamic he is?
You think he's better than Anthony Edwards?
Yeah, for sure.
John Morant?
Yeah. He's better than Anthony Edwards.
Interesting.
I mean, look how bad that team is without him. They're unwatchable.
That's true. So, who is the best player on that GOAT list? Well, name me the best three that's up there, or are they already in the order that they should be?
So the best three, like regular season wise?
Mm-hmm. So far, through the quarter season, which three are the best right now in that GOAT tier?
You got that three right there. That's the best three.
Okay. So we have
Jokic, Embiid, and Giannis, in whatever order you want to throw them in, but those are the best three people currently.
So you wouldn't say playoff LeBron is, or NBA Cup LeBron, MVP LeBron. You wouldn't put him over Giannis?
I'm saying right now, as they're currently constructed, we talk about their records and all that. Those are the three best players in the NBA. Okay. Now, when we talk about playoffs and who I trust, that list gets a lot smaller.
LeBron played like he was playing in the playoffs in this NBA.
But he was hurt.
He was hurt. Not in the in the NBA Cup.
Oh, in the Cup. Oh, when I take Cup Bron?
Yeah, he was playing like he was playoff.
Oh, yeah, I'm taking Cup Bron over all these guys, for sure. But you're talking about a regular season, not just a 4-game sample size.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like he raised his his game some.
Well, he did. He was the best player in the NBA in that stretch, for sure. Hands down. But
do you think he'll carry that going forward, or was that just for?
That was just for the cup. That was for history, and that was for those bench warmers who ain't gonna see the light of day.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, so he's gonna drop back down to.
He ain't gonna shoot what? He shot like 60-something% from 3. Heck no, man. I love Braun, but that's an anomaly to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, he looked. Like I said, I don't think he can keep that up, but he looked very, very good. And if we get that LeBron, that's scary. But he's got plenty more games to go. If we get that LeBron in the playoffs, which I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
The Lakers will be. I mean, he impressed me, and I'm not a LeBron fan, but he did impress me how much he was into that game, into those in-season tournament games, and he just looked like he looked like he was on another level than some of the other players that we've aforementioned. They just didn't look like they wanted it, but he looked like he wanted every bit of it. And I mean, maybe Zion and some of these guys will take notes and realize you got to ramp it up sometimes to get to where you want to get for your teams.
Yeah, I'll make another point, but it's gonna be on the next video.
Okay.
I know we're running out of time.
I know, my bad. I kind of hijacked your show for me.
No, you're good. I'm gonna say this really quick, and I'll expound upon it next video. But their Pelicans do own the Lakers. Like, I think it's like a mid-level pick or whatever. And there's talks about Bronny going to the Pelicans to lure LeBron James to follow. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I'll let that marinate.
To the Pelicans?
So I'm just saying, and in the world where that happens, LeBron could maybe take Zion under his wing and get him on the diet. That's all I'm gonna say. I ain't gonna say anything else, but just let that marinate.
Okay.
Let me know what you think. And yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode. Hope y'all have a wonderful week. Definitely hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, comment down below. Keep showing love with these views and these likes. And you got any other closing remarks?
You guys have a great rest of the week.
All right, y'all. We can get up out of here.
All right.
Got food to eat.
All right. Have a good one.